I have to say that Marvel has successfully managed to subvert my expectations. I never thought that I would be surprised by seeing how they can disrespect one of their characters because within the last couple of years, I thought I seen it all. But when it comes to what they did with the Punisher, I think it's going to surprise you guys as well. And the more the video is going to go on, the more surprised you're going to be. Now, a little bit of introduction. It's important to point out that when Marvel created the Punisher, they managed to have a successful superhero because Marvel, believe it or not, was very edgy for that particular time. I mean, if you look into the past and you look at some of the superheroes that Marvel created, you would understand what I mean. Tony Stark, for instance, Iron Man, is a pro-war, alcoholic, multi-billionaire. Like literally what the culture at the time hated, Marvel created that as a superhero. It would be like creating today a homophobic, sexist, racist superhero and somehow actually managed to sell, right? That's what Marvel used to do. The Punisher is literally that as well because if you guys remember, in the United States, there was political correctness. It was just of a different kind. So back then, if you were making entertainment for children, you weren't allowed to have anyone dying. The story always needed to have a happy ending, and violence had to be taken to a minimum. That's why when, if you guys remember those old Batman TV shows, whenever they punched, the image would disappear and there would just be a pow on the screen. That was their level of censorship. So in that timeline, with that mindset, you have now a superhero that just kills people. And there's blood, there's gore, there's actual, as I mentioned before, there's actual death. He uses weapons, right? That's what the Punisher was, and he was very edgy. The symbol of the Punisher is incredibly iconic as well. Many police officers and soldiers have been seen using it, which is probably why they actually got rid of it. I was actually surprised when I saw it, and of course now that we live in the era where the left is anti-gun, they got away with his guns as well. Right? So when I saw an image of the Punisher, I couldn't recognize him because there was no Punisher there. It was just a guy with some swords and some Japanese logo on his shirt. And I think like this is the desperate attempt for them to say that, hey, we like anime or something. Like, you guys like anime? Well, watch our character instead. But unfortunately, no one is purchasing their comics. So complete disrespect to the character, right? Like sanitizing the Punisher. You already have other superheroes that do that. Like you already have superheroes with swords and shit. There's no need to just create the Punisher and make him like that. But apparently, in the latest issue, they bring back his wife. Now the whole thing with the Punisher is that he is fed up with crime because he lost his family to criminals, right? Like they shot his children, they shot his wife, and he just wants vengeance. And it was cathartic because at the time when the Punisher was released, America was going through a similar crime wave, also artificially created by politicians. It was due to abolishing the police at the time. It was sensitivity training. Yes, like the police had to go through sensitivity training. You didn't have diversity, inclusion, and equity. You just have like all these sensitivity officers. And of course, another approach that was soft on crime, and it created a huge crime wave to the point where many people would go to the cinema just to see criminals getting blown up in movies like Dirty Harry, in comic books like Ninja Turtles, or, as you can see, The Punisher, right? So this is literally what people wanted to see at the time. Like, they were fed up with crime and they would watch a RoboCop movie or something. So, now, you have the Punisher being stripped away of his guns, completely taking away the Skull logo because they don't want to associate the Punisher with law enforcement. But not for the reasons why you think, right? Like, not for the reasons that you would think, well, the Punisher kills people, so we don't want police officers to identify with our symbol. No. It's just like they don't want anything positive or anything from their work to be taken by police officers. So they bring back his wife, and you would wonder, like, why? Like, why would they do that? Because it destroys the character. That's precisely why. Because apparently the wife divorces him, right? She says that before they got shot while they were having a picnic, she was going to tell him that she wants a divorce. So they would like, this makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would you have such a conversation when you go out to a picnic with children? Like, normally you would have this conversation indoors, you know, because they're living together. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend, where they just happen to meet out and, like, that's where the girlfriend dumps him. No, like, any married couple would know that these types of conversations wouldn't happen over a picnic. But anyway, right, the writer probably isn't married, so it doesn't really surprise me. That's not the end, right? Like, that's not the end. What they're doing after that is that they're saying the wife is now taking away all of his fortune. So she took half of his fortune in order for her to go partying, I guess. And the other half, she donated it to various charities in the name of their children. So literally, like, she steals stuff from him. Like, she's a criminal now. You know, I'm surprised the Punisher isn't going to shoot her. But still, probably due to nepotism, she manages to get away with it. However, she takes away everything that the Punisher has. And that is the end of the character, right? Like, he gets cucked, he gets his fortune taken away, the wife doesn't like him, his guns are taken away, his logo is taken away. There is absolutely no way anyone is going to purchase toys of the new Punisher that they've created. There is, like, literally no way that anyone is going to purchase merchandise. Like, to me, it makes no sense. You have an IP that still sells, not comic books, but, like, there's still people that buy the Skull logo on t-shirts. There's probably some kids that would still buy some action figures. There's still people that may be interested in the IP. Like there's people that would like to make movies or TV shows or, you know, like Punisher stuff, video games. And you're doing your best. It's like, okay, if this is what people like and this is what people want, we haven't destroyed this IP yet. So let's do a complete job in demolishing it to the point where no one is interested. Like it just sickens people when they hear the name The Punisher. I mean, I just want you to understand, if you happen to be a left-leaning person and you do not understand why this upsets people, let's reverse the gender roles for a bit, right? Let's assume that you have, like, this female superhero which goes on a vengeance killing spree because her husband and children get shot, right? So, like, now she is training, she manages to become, like, a professional sniper or something like that, and she starts going after the people that hurted her family. But it turns out that the husband comes back to life, and he actually says, you know what? I was going to divorce you anyway. And then he actually ends up taking all her cash, right? Takes his half, and then the last half that she has also takes it and donates it to various charities. How would you feel about that guy? How would you feel about, you know, like, honestly, it's just so bewildering that this is the type of comic books that they think people want to read. It's just, the thing is, the author hates the character, right? Like there is an interview where they say that. Now, in any other situation, that person would be fired. Like, if you go to a McDonald's and the manager says that they hate their job, you know, they hate watching over people that make burgers, or the guy in the kitchen says that they hate making burgers, any boss would fire them because they would be like, well, why are you here then? Like, if you don't like the job, why are you doing it? But for some fucking reason, every single goddamn time, like, it's almost like in Marvel, they get all the people that work there in a room, and they ask, like, okay, which superheroes do you guys hate the most? The Punisher. Alright, well, you're on the Punisher now. Do we have someone that hates Iron Man and She-Hulk? Oh, you too? Alright, well, you are going to be on that. I generally think that this is the way they give comic books to people, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Let me know what you guys think, and hopefully I'll see you on my live stream, and take care.